Well, hello everyone, and welcome again to Ignite with Sandi, this special webinar that we bring to you every week from this amazing platform called Celestia. So, do you remember what Celestia is? Celestia is a work life balance magazine, it's an online magazine from the UK. And the objective of us is to bring you interesting stories, share information, share inspirational uh, anecdotes from people from different parts of the world. When I say people, I mean ladies from different parts of the world. And they joined me every week to share their experiences, their expertise, their successes, and what they're doing with their life. So today, my special guest is a young lady that I met a couple of years ago. And she struck me as, being the really chilled out young person of today's generation. And it was only slowly that I started realizing there's a lot more to this person than I know about. And what was absolutely amazing is that I know her mom. And we'd go out for dinner, and I would expect to receive a menu to start looking at what I would like to order. And suddenly all this food would appear on the table, and dishes after dishes. And it was my favorite, her mom's favorite. And I'm saying, like, I know her mom is not one of those, such an organized person to do these things. And she was not even in town. And I asked her mom, I said, how did you manage to do this? And she said, oh, no, we don't have to worry. No matter where in the world I am, no matter where in the world my daughter is, she can easily place the order for me. And she knows exactly what we like. She knows what kind of food we are going to enjoy. And I thought to myself, wow, isn't this amazing? We sit in different parts of the world, and here we are sitting in a restaurant, all the food ordered. And then I realized that my guest today is a very versatile person. She strikes one as being very observant, very much on the ball. She knows exactly, very prompt in doing things, and also she's extremely creative. So there are a lot of things about her that we can all learn from. So I'm going to, as is my usual practice, I never give away the name of the person I'm interviewing. I always ask them to make a brief introduction about themselves. So over to you, my dear girl. Please
Thank
introduce
you very
yourself to
much,
us.
Sandy. Thank you very much for that beautiful introduction. And hello, everyone. My name is Joanne Mantosh from Calcutta. I, as of now, have six restaurants, and they are of each different types of categories. One is a QSR, the other is a fine dining restaurant, the other two are bars. The other one is just another a restaurant like a push cart restaurant, like a fast quick service restaurant as well. So yes,
Okay.
that's a little bit about me.
Okay, so is it safe to say that you're a foodie?
Yes, I am a very big foodie. I
Okay.
love it.
You
I just
love
love
food?
it.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us, John, how did you start on this journey? What was it like there? Did you always know that you would go into this kind of a career related to fine dining, food, creativity, all related to the culinary experiences?
So as a child, I was very fascinated by table setup. And my
Okay.
grandmother told me that, you know, you have a knack for this. And I always thought about it. I was like, what does she mean by this? As I was growing up, it wasn't as evident, but slowly by surely, when I had gone to Australia, I had developed a proper insight and knack for the ability to see and taste good things. So,
Okay.
yes, it just developed over time, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy looking at good food and people who enjoy food. I love when their eyes light up. I love it. It's my
Okay. So
favorite
tell
thing.
me, when you were in Australia, you obviously studied all the theoretical part and the practical part. So
Yeah.
which part interested you more?
So, the actual practical part.
Okay.
The theory
So,
was just a theory, but the practical, oh my God, that was the best part of the whole education. Because I loved to see, learn, touch, new textures, taste. My main thing was tasting. I tasted everything. Even though they said, don't you dare taste it, I tasted it
yeah,
a bit
I
too
think
much.
because of that, you get to really understand the textures and the flavors, because that's the experience that we all want to have when we go to a restaurant, right?
Of course, of course. And those were really new to me. So, as an Indian student, finishing school in England and then coming to Australia, where there was sudden culinary burst of
Okay.
like a little thing like quail eggs and Mexican salt. It
Okay.
was so new to me. It was so new. And I was like, what is this? It was so fascinating. And then my Korean friends introducing me to Korean food, and this is like 15 years ago. And we were
Okay.
like, "Oh, what is Korean food?" And now it's the biggest hype in the whole world.
Yes, yes,
So,
quite true. So tell me, John, when you're deciding on menus, when you're deciding on the kind of foods that you would like to have in your restaurant or your different outlets, how how important is having fresh ingredients as opposed to processed stuff? Are you careful about the health things, the organic kind of things, the more things that are healthier options? Do you look at that?
so we look at that a lot. We look at that a lot, and we don't have that much of trouble in Calcutta because everything is locally sourced, everything is organic, everything I mean, we can taste the difference, and our customers can taste the difference. So we
Okay.
try as much as possible to keep it seasonal, local, and fresh.
Oh, okay. So now you've traveled all around the world, and I know that everywhere you go, you not only sample the food, but you do a bit of research on it as well. So why do you do that, and what do you get out of it?
So that is my little pocket of joy. That gives
Okay.
me joy to see how people are evolving with every season, every time, every phase, every emotion, what people eat, whether it be a girl, whether it be a boy, whether it be a little adolescent, what gives them joy, everything. I love to see everything and I love to research all that is there right now. Everything.
Okay. So what
It's
are
my
your
favorite
current
thing to do.
favorites right now? What are you indulging in? Making sure your patrons get a lot of that. What's the current trend?
So the current trend is I have been eating in a lot of people's houses,
Okay.
and that has intrigued me on different levels. As of now, I'm in Kathmandu, and I've
Okay.
eaten in like so many people's houses. Plus, I have gone and tried the local authentic food that is just phenomenal. And that really, I mean, I would love to take a little bit back with me. Every holiday that I go for, I love to take a little bit back and add it to my menu.
Okay, so talking about the menu, now we come we're going to start with your really upscale, high-end restaurant called Miss what? What's the name of your restaurant? I think it's Miss Jinko, right?
Yes, Mrs. Ginkgo, yes.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Miss Ginkgo. Why did you name it? And what is the theme of the restaurant? What is it that you would like your patrons to experience when they walk in there?
So, Miss Ginkgo was a project done by me and my brothers. And we just said, why don't we just start something very fresh, very different for the city to see? We said a lot of people love Asian food, so we gave a different flair of Asian. We had Filipino, we had Korean, we have Japanese, not the usual sushi, but the other stuff like the katsu, the the teriyaki, just different variations of Asian cuisine. Because in Calcutta, everyone loves Asian. It's like their comfort food. So
Okay.
we it happened over lockdown. We had a space. So we said, why not convert this to something beautiful? And hence we came up with Miss Kinko. She is an ethereal little crane. She has, she's a little dreamer.
Okay.
And her space is all about good music, good vibes, good food. And it's just where the magic unfolds.
Okay. So, in order to create that magic, what did you do in terms of decor, in terms of the theme, in terms of the cocktails that you serve? How did that come together?
So we traveled a lot to Dubai, and we saw that the trend was more greenery.
Okay.
And we loved, and hence every space that we went to that was really real greenery really elevated our vibe, really made us stay in those restaurants longer than the other type of restaurants that we used
Okay.
to visit back before. So we said, why not create like a green garden house, like a living room space and an outdoor veranda space.
Okay.
So every time someone comes to the restaurant, they were like, is this like Bali? Is this like Greece? I was like, no. This is a space where you can be comfortable, relaxed, enjoy. You don't have to give it a name. You just have to come, enjoy the vibe, and that's about it. And it just makes them feel very elevated.
Yeah. So, is it, would you call it energizing? Would you call it relaxing? Would you call it a space where people want to come and just sit and chill and relax?
You know what? I would call it a bit of everything.
Okay.
And I encourage everyone to even come with their older parents, because usually, nowadays the culture is that only the younger generation goes out. The older people don't go out as much. So, but I am encouraging, a younger generation to go out with their older generation, an amalgamation of that, a melting pot of that, and everyone gets to enjoy our space.
Yes. So
So it
now
has a
we
bit for
come.
everybody.
Okay. So now we come to the food part. Now that's your specialty. And I know that you're quite hands on and you're always coming up with different ways of presenting the food, the creativity, the trimmings, the sauces, everything. So, what is your role in that when you're advising your staff and how much hands on are you? Because I know that's the part that you enjoy a lot.
So I've been really lucky. I've been really lucky that I have a really good team of very good staff working, and anything I say to them, they are ready to research it, develop something which will make the customer extremely happy. And I've done a lot of trials. I have told them what works, what doesn't work, and they also take my advice, and they were like, "Oh, that's interesting. We can try that." So my team has been really hands-on with the new menu, and everybody's been enjoying it. They haven't tasted food like that before. So it's a little edgy with a twist, but keeping it traditional as well.
Okay. So now we move from your really, high-end restaurant to the other ones. So can you tell us how those little places, the push cart and the street food, how did that start and what kind of things do you do to keep the vibe there?
So initially, the push cart, I had a little space. I had just come back from Thailand, and I said, you know what? Let's do some Thai barbecue chicken.
Okay.
And I never knew how well that caught on. It went viral. So every weekend, I had opened it just for 2 hours, and there used to be such a long line that I was shocked. I was like, okay, I've done something right, because I offered them something that was not available in that area. So
Okay.
because of my experience traveling, I said, you know what, I can show them the world through what I have seen. And they've just loved it. And same goes for every menu, even in my other restaurant called the Scoop New Empire. Every time I try to be as creative as possible. Like I would do a biryani with a chili chicken. I would do I would do a dosa with butter chicken. I would do
Ooh.
a dosa with the Maggie noodles. And everyone would go like, "What? Does this really work?" I was like, "You must try it and then tell me." So it's been wild, and fortunately, there have been a lot of people that love my experimenting skills.
Yeah, I think that comes more because you yourself have tasted. You've savored the flavors of different things, so you have the knack of saying, okay, if I combine this flavor with this, we're going to get something really special. But
Magical, yes.
yeah, some you mentioned some when we last spoke about these special. So not events but special evenings that you would have at the restaurant, bring this one or dress like this or whatever. So tell us about that and how did it work?
No, so I used to have from Monday to Friday. So
Okay.
Monday used to be Monday was no,
Was the
Monday was
pink day?
simple.
Okay.
No, Tuesdays. Tuesdays was
Okay.
vegetarian Tuesdays. If
Okay.
you came with ladies, you'd get discounts. If you
Okay.
came with a guy wearing pink,
Well, I don't know what's happened with Joanne. She seems to have just disappeared. Well, I'm not quite in favor of technology, and although people keep saying, technology will help you and this, that, and the other, we're just experimenting and seeing what happens with technology. But at least I'm here, and so I can talk to you a little bit more about Joanne because I do know her quite well. So, what I have observed is that. You need to be adventurous. You need to experiment. You need to try out combinations. And she actually has um, patented, that's the business part of Joanne. She's patented a name that she uses on social media. And that is what it's called. When I heard that name, I said, "Whoa, okay, there has to be some story behind that one." And then I came to know it's called Bijli Bomb. How's that? Bijli Bomb. I thought, wow, this is a really fun name, and because of her experience and business acumen and that of the family, that name now belongs to her. So you won't find another Bijli Bomb anywhere else. I don't know why she's not coming back on screen. So I'm going to continue talking till I get her back because I don't know what is the matter. But I'm sure there's some technical thing which will be sorted out soon. So coming back to menus, coming back to how we actually bring customers in and then keep those customers, make them repeat customers, and then also get customers to actually bring in more people. So there's actually a knack in that. And I think one of the things that is very important is how welcome you make them feel. How uh, welcoming are they? So, oh, Joanne, you're back. Thank you. I was
I'm
just
so
trying to.
sorry for that.
That's perfectly all
I'm
right,
in the
sweetheart.
hills and the network is terrible.
Yeah, doesn't matter. That happens sometimes, but I'm sure our audience will understand because what we're doing and sharing information is absolutely fascinating. So, coming back to John, you were telling us about the different days of the week where you were used to have a theme in this restaurant called Scoop, right? So, tell us about
Yes.
that.
So Tuesdays used to be Pink Tuesday. So if your partner and you came wearing pink, you'd get a discount, and ladies discounts and vegetarian people discount on
Okay.
Tuesdays. Wednesdays was Granny Wednesdays. So if you came with
Oh,
your granny, you would get a discount, which
hmm.
was a real big hit because I enjoyed looking at the little grandma and the kids coming. They were like, "Where's our discount?" We were like, "Right away, ma'am. Don't worry about that." Then Thursday was our express lunch. So there was a timer. So if you didn't get your food within that timing, it was considered free. But then Friday was the Freaky Fridays.
Okay.
So Fridays was my best. So if you come with your girlfriend, you get 10%. If you come with your wife, you get 20. But if you come with both, you get 50.
So how many
That
of them how many of
I
them came and
doubt
got the
anyone in
50?
Calcutta would ever come with their girlfriends and their wives. No way.
Well, that's a fun thing to do, and I think a lot of people must have really appreciated the humor behind that.
Yes, they did. They really enjoyed that part. They
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. Especially it brought joy to them, and I could always see a smile whenever they read that. They were like, "Whoa, what is this?"
Yeah, so I think you love to be way out there and sort of get people's imaginations going, get their enthusiasm levels up, so that when they come, they really enjoy themselves. Because I think
Yes.
one of the most important things is not only about the food, it's about the enjoyment. And that comes from the people who are in the restaurant, whether it's your waiters, whether it's your server, whether it's you. So tell me, how many times would you be physically present in the restaurant?
I'm always present. I'm always present. And especially when the new menus come out and the food is served to each of my customers, that spark in their eyes, especially the little kids and then the adults. Oh, that is $1 million for me.
Yes.
That
So
is my
you
joy.
think, so you think in order to be a really successful person in the foodie business, you need to have that personal touch?
Of course, you need that personal touch because you're again like you're an artist. I'm an artist. Every day, what I do is creating something new for an experience. So, yes, definitely.
Yeah. So for people, especially ladies, who are dreaming about opening their own restaurant, dreaming about, I wish I could have a little place over here or a cozy place there or a coffee place there. What advice would you give them? Because one is, of course, the cost. How much will it cost to put everything together? How much will it, what kind of investment would be needed? All those things. So, looking at the business aspect of it, what would you recommend to a person who's starting out?
So, I would definitely say have a vision
Okay.
and have a goal, have a mission, because that will give you the entire agenda of what you are actually searching for and what you're looking for. Don't be just another cafe, offer something edgy, be different, be unique, and definitely there is a financial aspect to it, but you do need a good financial team to sort that out for you
Yes.
if you don't have it yourself. Definitely. That is very important. Either your father or your lovely brothers, in my case, they help me out with that. And yes, and if you don't have that support, I do recommend, looking up, reading up things. Just don't jump into things that you don't know too much about. Yes, read about it, understand it, start small, then go big.
Okay, so now comes the next part. We've got the concept, we've got the business plan, we've identified where we'd like to be, we've got the interior decorator, and things are moving forward. Now comes the most important part, the food. Okay, so setting the menu, deciding what you're going to be offering, where to get the stuff from, where to, what kind of contracts to negotiate with your suppliers, because it's a whole chain of things that you have to do before that food arrives on the table, correct?
Yes.
So
So
how is,
basically,
yeah,
So
please.
I always look around, speak around. I do have friends of friends recommending certain people, certain products, especially for Miss Ginkgo. I did have some friends who have farms, who grow all the organic vegetables, and they recommended their friends, and their produce was beautiful. So yes, you have to always stay connected to certain people who can advise you to go for good products, definitely.
Okay. And
And
when
other
it,
than that, you do have to scout around. You do have to do your market research. You have to walk around, look around, feel, touch, see, exchange numbers. Sometimes a hit and miss. Sometimes sometimes it's not good for business. Sometimes, yes, try it out. Could be really good as well. So, yeah, you
so,
have to try out everything and talk to everyone and then come to a conclusion who you should go for and what are the best prices available.
okay, so coming to designing a menu, when I say designing a menu, the kind of dishes that you have on the menu, how much time, effort, and research is required in that? I'll tell you.
So,
Okay, well, 1 minute, John. The reason I'm asking that question is, every second place in Dubai, there's a coffee shop, there's a cafe, there's something on. But when you look at the menu, it's the same stuff. There's nothing really different to say that, okay, I'd rather go to this place than that place because they have something different. So that's why I'm asking, when you're designing that menu, the dishes that go on it, what is it that we should be looking at?
it all bottoms down to who is doing it really well and who's experimenting, researching, being as authentic as they can be. Because that is very important, very extremely important. So in Dubai, I have my favorites, definitely have my favorites. And but I have seen that the people who are really doing authentic stuff are the winners. And they've been
Okay.
there for years and years and years. And the same food served for generations, even in Mumbai, even in Calcutta, even in Delhi, those are the winners. Those are the real winners. And then from them, people are copying everything. So you have to be careful with that. Again, like I said, you have to be artistic enough to experiment and then artistic enough to deliver something that your guests are also looking for.
Yes, that's very true. So, from the time that we've spent together, you are just as comfortable sitting near the Abra station and drinking sugarcane juice,
Yes.
to going into the souk, into some little place that serves really lovely food, to the most expensive restaurants and hotels in Dubai. And we have
Yeah.
it all, right? And I'm sure
Yes.
you the same is in Calcutta as well. So how do you seamlessly move and remain as comfortable and as at home in these very diverse and different kinds of atmospheres?
Well, I love seeing the extremes. I love it. But everyone who succeeds has heart in it. So I love seeing that zest for life. I love seeing, because everyone has a survival and it is a survival of the fittest. And how, even like a housewife, how she would make her husband happy with a small tiffin. Like, like I research like how Japanese women make tiffin for their husbands, and that is a masterpiece. You know, that has intrigued me. The Dubai souks have intrigued me. From the top level to the bottom level, everything, because I go where there is heart, and I love to see that. I love to see the zest of life.
Yes, I think that's very important because if you can enjoy that, just to something very
So it doesn't matter.
simple.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Now, the other thing that, Joan, I've seen you do on social media is you do short videos about preparing different kinds of food. So, what is that about?
So that was my lockdown little experiment. So my father and my brother, they love to eat different things. So I did Mondays was what was Meze Mondays. So I used to do Arabic food. I used
Okay,
to research a lot of Arabic food and then make something. They loved it. Tuesdays was Taco Tuesdays. Then Thursdays was from Balinese chicken to it evolved to Thai Thursdays. Oops, I forgot Wednesday. Wednesday was I can't really remember what Wednesday was. Oops. Fridays
I
was French Fridays,
okay.
Saturdays was Chinese, and Sundays was biryani. And the
Okay.
evening I was off. So I really enjoyed doing that because it made them happy. So I really love doing that. Although I never used to cook from before, but
Hmm.
the lockdown made me enjoy cooking.
So I safely say that lockdown was a very creative and useful period for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. It was. It really made me understand certain things, items, preparation time, keep things cooling, waiting,
Hmm.
relaxing. So yes, it was an enlightening time for me.
That's so nice to hear because most people, when they talk about lockdown, it's always about frustration, anger, not having enough, not being able to do enough, and all. So what you're saying, and the message I think that we're getting is that if you just sit back and let your creative juices flow, no matter what, whether it's cooking, whether it's writing, whether it's doing something, you can actually savor that period of time that has been given to you instead of looking at it as a period of being restricted, because in your case you became creative instead of being restricted.
I became very creative, and I was blessed to have certain products to experiment with certain things. There were a lot of people saying, "Oh, how do you have this at home?" There was people saying that. When then I started making like Thai chili paste from scratch, then I had people ordering with me. So
Okay.
yes, it really made me feel so special that yes, if you really calm down, see your skills, you have it all in you. So
Yes.
yes, the lockdown was a very enlightening period for me. And I got to spend a lot of time with my family in a
Yes.
different level, which I
Yes.
enjoyed.
Quite true, because none of us actually look at it that way. It's always about, I can't go to office, I can't have this meeting, I can't close this deal. It was all about not being able to do things, and you turned it around. So I think that's a wonderful message that coming from you, where you actually let your creativity do the talking for you, and you were able to not only learn more, but also help others experience all those lovely things that you made. And I'm quite sure that all the members of your family must have put on weight.
They did. They did. They did. They were like, we have to go for an evening walk because we know what's coming for us. And
Yes.
even when they got COVID, I
Hmm.
made sure I made them food with certain textures that they, since they couldn't taste, so they
Hmm.
enjoy the texture. So that's the level of research I went into.
Yeah.
So it would
I
be highly nutritional. At the same time, the textures would help them understand that there is a different kind of food, even though they couldn't taste.
Hmm. Yes. So my what I'm getting from you, and I think this is an important thing that we should bring to the attention of our audience, is that if you want to be successful, it doesn't matter in what, right? You number one need to do research. Number two, you need to experiment and not be afraid of failure, because not every
And be
experiment is going
consistent.
to turn. Yes, very important. So, Joanne, now you have this fabulous high-end restaurant, and then you have all the other interesting things. And I don't think you're one of those people who is content to sit back and say, "Okay, now this is it. I am happy now." I don't think that's your nature. So, do you have anything else that you are conjuring up in your imagination?
Always, always, always. Because, see, I'll be honest with you. God has blessed me with a mind, brains, hands, legs, ability to see, do. And every time I have to keep creating something or the other, whether it be a small little aperitivo or whether it be some Korean noodles, I have to keep creating something or the other. And restaurant after restaurant.
Okay, so are we going to have like a chain of bespoke restaurants coming up in the future?
You never know.
Yeah, don't give away all the secrets. So, love, we're coming to the end of our talk, and I would like you, from your perspective, to women out there, no matter what they're doing, because you're a businesswoman. You have applied all the things of a business in order to create your food experience, right? So, what advice would you give to women who are not knowing where to go, always hesitating, always living in fear of failure, always hesitating to make that decision instead of just plunging into it and says, you know what, I'm going to go in and I'm going to give it my best shot? What kind of advice would you give women from the different ways that they think?
So, first of all, you snooze, you lose. So, if you
Okay,
want something, you got to get it. If you don't want it, you're not going to get it. So, your mindset has to be very alert. If you want something, you will get it no matter what. And if you keep giving yourself obstacles, you will never get it. So either you're here or you're there. So you have to make up your mind. You have to know what exactly you want. No matter how difficult it is, no matter how many struggles you go through, if you want it, this is that one life you have, you will get it no matter what. So always set yourself goals to get what you want. Even if it seems impossible, remember, man went to the moon, nothing is impossible.
quite true, my dear.
And a
Because
woman going shortly.
yeah, absolutely. So, because I feel that we do a lot of self sabotaging. And then because we're not willing to take that chance, not willing to go that extra mile, not willing to put in that extra effort that is required. And for example, when you started out your restaurant, it just didn't come on a platter. Excuse my using that expression. It wasn't served up to you. You created it. You went through all the processes in order to be able to get to the point that you are now. So, what I would say, and what I would like most of our people who will be listening to us in the future, always remember this what Joanne said: if you snooze, you lose. I think that's a great phrase, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to borrow it from her because I don't think she's got that one copyrighted like Bijli Bomb. So, at the end of the day, the restaurant business is just like any other business. It involves money, involves planning, it involves personal skills, it involves personal relationships, how you relate to people, how you create that atmosphere of being able to work together, of being able to cooperate, of and it's not when you're the because you're the boss, you know everything. And that's what Joanne said. She works with a team. She's happy to get feedback. She encourages feedback because you never know what will come from that feedback. Everybody's got creativity, everybody's got observation skills. And so when you use that as a team, you can always get a better result. So, whatever business you are in, whatever you're planning to do, if you keep some of these things in mind, you will obviously get to the place that you want to be. And as Joanne said, don't give up. Continue on your journey. So, what if there are obstacles? That's natural. It's like a river. The river doesn't wait, it doesn't stop flowing because if there are rocks, if there are boulders, it just finds a way around it because there's no resistance. You just find your way around it and you move forward. So, on that wonderful note, and me dreaming about the lovely food that hopefully I will be able to taste one day from Joanne. In the meantime, I'll just be happy with the restaurants that she recommends, sitting from in different parts of the world while I sit in Dubai. And also, if I know very well that if I request her to order the food for me, even if it's like taking a big group of people, she will do an amazing job because it comes so naturally to her. She understands my nature. She understands what I enjoy. So I'm going to make sure that I make use of that particular skill of hers, no matter which part of the world she's in. So that, thank you very much, Joanne, for being with us. I know you're off screen right now, and thanks to technology, things don't always work out like we do want it to. But as you said, we don't care. We just move on, and everything else catches up with us. So take care from all of us here at Ignite with Sandy and the Celestia team. Thank you very much for watching. Please do remember, we appreciate your support and we look forward to you supporting us. Please do subscribe to our Celestia YouTube channel, and don't forget to like and to comment, and as well as our Facebook page and obviously Instagram. So Joanne is on Instagram and she's called Bijli Bomb. So do have a look on that and send her your feedback and your comments. She's always happy to hear from all of you. And with that, bye bye for now. Take care and God bless.